Hi, I'm Shelley. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is I'm going to be talking about my 2025 reading goals. And by just looking at my notes, it's already gone off the rails a bit, because the first thing I wrote down, one of my reading goals, was to do with my buying habit, which is to buy less and read more what's on my physical TBR. And so far this month, I have had 3 books, and I have 7 more on the way. And so we'll see how that goes the rest of the year. But I'm planning on, usually January month, I usually do buy a few books. And then February, maybe a couple. But then the middle part of the year, I usually don't buy as many. Only some authors that maybe are coming out with some new books that I enjoy reading. So, and then towards the end of the year, I usually buy more because my birthday's towards the end of the year. And I have a Plum Plus membership with Indigo, so I usually get a birthday discount in my birthday month, so I usually buy a few extra books there, and including like pre-orders for the following year. So that's number 1. And some of the reading challenges I'd like to do. The first one I spoke about in my last video is this jar right here. It's 12 of the oldest books on my TBR. And for January, of course, I picked this one out of the jar. And I'm a little bit of the ways through. I'm hoping it'll only take me a couple of months to read this one. But I will be picking sorry. I will be picking the second one up. Picking the second one out of the jar for February, and I'll just continue reading on that one. And I'm also taking part in Kayla from Books and Lala. She has a channel on YouTube. She does the buzzword reading challenge every year. So this year she has 2 challenges. One has to do with words that are in the title of the book, and the other one is things on the cover. So I'm planning on taking part in that challenge every month. And let's see, what else? Some books that I'd like to read this year, and some certain authors. So my TBR jar, which is the 12 books, Kathy Reichs series, the Temperance Brennan series. I read the 4 newest books in this series, but I don't think she has a new one coming out this year. I haven't seen anything about it. So I started at the beginning because I did enjoy the TV series Bones when it was on television. And I'm going to be reading the 4th book in this series now this month. So I'm going to plan on reading at least a couple of the series this year, maybe more if I'm lucky. And the next author, let's see. Actually, I'll bring these books over here. I have this beautiful set here. These are Word Cloud classics. And I have a few editions. And I've read 3 of these books, Jane Austen books, and there's 3 I haven't read. I haven't read Mansfield Park, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma. I haven't read those 3. So I'm hoping to maybe get to one of these this year. I like to read more classics this year. And let's see, some other classics I have that I may or may not get to this year. This one here, Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises. I'd like to be able to read this one sometime this year, maybe. Let's see what happens. Maybe I'll get to it. And this is another Word Cloud classic edition, the memoir of Sherlock Holmes. And I like to read this one this year. I mean, I've seen different TV shows and movies of Sherlock Holmes, and I've read a couple of his books, but I like to read that one now as well. This one, I'm not really sure if I'm going to get to it this year or not. I got this one a couple of years ago, I think, at a thrift store. That is, of course, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I'm not really sure if I'll get to this one this year because this one is like over 800 pages. And I can't read everything, so I'm not sure. Just some of the classics that I'd like to read this year. And some authors that I like to read more of besides Kathy Reichs. Agatha Christie. I have most of the Hercule Poirot mysteries. This one, 3-act tragedy, will probably be my next one. And there's a few more. I have about 4 or 5, I think, left to collect in this series. And a nice few I still haven't read, so I'd like to get to some of hers this year. And another one, let's see, bring these over here. I don't know why I picked all the heavy books. And I'd like to reread some of the rest of Emily St. John Mandel books. This one is Station 11. And The Glass Hotel. And Sea of Tranquility. I'm going to reread the 3 of these this year. And I just picked up this one a few months ago. This is the 10th anniversary edition of Station 11. It's a really nice edition. It has these end papers. I don't know if I can show them or not. These are end papers right here. I really like this edition. And there are 3 main books. Well, I think all 6 sort of have connections. But in this one, it has a map. And it kind of shows how all 6 of those books are connected in some ways. The last 3, I think, have more connections. Like there could be people in the same book. There's a plot point or a place. So I'm going to reread these and then see if I can pick out some of those the same people or places that are in those books. And let's see, next. I like to read some more. I haven't picked up much Stephen King lately. I've read Stephen King my whole life. Like, for instance, I read this one here a couple years ago, The Talisman. I did not do this to this book. It was like it when I thrifted it. And actually, I think it's actually a first edition. Came out in 1984. And it's in terrible shape, but yeah, there's that one there. But I never did read the sequel to that one, which is Black House. That's the Talisman and Black House. Stephen King wrote along with Peter Straub. So I'm hoping to pick up this one this year. Read that one. And Stephen King has a new book coming out this year as well. Where was it? Never Flinch, I believe it's called. And I think it comes out in May. And I believe one of my favorite characters is in it, Holly Gibney. I know like some people don't like her, some people do, but I really do like her. So if there's a book with her in it, I'm going to pick it up for sure. And this one, I don't know if I'd call it technically a reread because it's been years and years since I've read it, Salem's Lot. And I chose this book because, actually, I think this might be a first edition. I don't know where I got it to, though. I thrifted it somewhere. This book came out in 1975, October 1975. So it'll be 50 years since this book came out in October of this year. So I thought I'm probably going to read this one in October or reread it. I don't remember a thing about it, so I might just call it first time I read it. And I think that's all the challenges I had this year, because I want to do some rereads, because I mean there's like millions of books published every year. So I mean I'm not going to get to, not even 1% of what's being published. So I want to go back and reread some of the books or read some authors that I have enjoyed in the past and still enjoy, because that's what reading is all about. Enjoyment. Enjoy what you read. So like this year, if there's a book I'm reading that I'm not really enjoying, I'm just going to put it aside and go on to the next one. And let's see. I think that's about it. I know my beginning TBR this year was 114 books. That's physical TBR that I have on my Goodreads. And last year I think it was like 120 something or 130 something. So like I did bring in quite a few books. I think it was 69 books I bought last year. So this year I don't plan on buying, I'd like to get down to even half that many that I actually purchase. So I'm going to try to keep my buying down, especially new books, because they are in Canada, like the books are really expensive here. It's like $30 or $40 for some hardcover books. So normally I try to buy them at Indigo, and if it's a new book that's coming out, I usually get it when it goes on sale. Because usually a lot of the more popular books go on sale just before they come out. So that's what I plan on doing, and I'll probably thrift more books. I'll thrift some more. Where is that Kathy Reichs book on again? Let's see. Is this one here? Most of these, this one I think I bought new, but most of her books I have thrifted. So I'm going to read 4 and 5, 4 this month and 5 soon. I don't have 6 and 7 physical copies, so I'm hoping to find those in a thrift store sometime this year. And then most of the other ones I do have. I think there's 6 altogether in this series I don't have. So I'm hoping to pick those up this year. And I think that's about it for now. Challenges. And if I think of anything else, I'll probably just mention it in my next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Thanks. Bye.